All right. All right, and then lately I've been getting so many reflections that I'm going to have to start, the Spirit's been putting on me, I feel, and so I'm going to have to start doing short videos throughout the day for just reflections. And so you might start seeing these pop up. And so here was a little reflection on truth and perception. Sometimes I think one thing people get confused about, especially with like AI, what we call AI, is the difference between what it's telling you and what we're telling it. So just because it gives an answer doesn't make it truth. It's just like a book, a website, or a media outlet. You like how I threw that in there, because look at where we're at with the mainstream media. You can't just take what you're told at face value. You have to do your own due diligence and verify what you can and use discernment. I mean, we've said this so many times, but so some things we just don't know. Take history, for example. We weren't there. History is written by the victorious. So who's to say it's all true? More recent history we might know because family members lived through it, but even that fades with time. And once those people are gone, the narrative can be rewritten, like we've seen happen again and again. So then we've got to ask ourselves, was the original story a lie? Is the new story the lie? ? Because in the end, we weren't there. We don't know. And every story has more than one side. And that's why, to me, what really matters are the principles and morals behind the stories, not the politics of who told them, and the truth behind them, in the spirit, right? And especially when we're dealing with something divine like the Bible, it has layers. So many people miss the supernatural depth of it, in my opinion. I'm not, because I don't know other people's minds, but I'm not just talking about the visible miracles, the plagues in Egypt, the parting of the Red Sea, or the creation itself, or the flood, the Noah. I mean, dude, there's so many miracles. But the spiritual truth woven through every word. For me, that's the real proof. Not the stories themselves, but my testimony. My life is evidence. I've seen God at work in ways no one could explain away. But in the end, it comes down to this. Let those with eyes to see, see, and those with ears to hear, hear. And maybe if you can't see, it's not because God isn't speaking. Maybe it's because you don't have the faith to recognize it. Maybe you only see what you're telling yourself instead of what God's been telling us all along.